Hello everyone. Today I have a really nice guest here. Hello Erin, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, great. Well, Erin was my English teacher on a English platform. Okay, so but the interesting thing is that she is living in Chile, okay, and she's an American living in Chile. So maybe you can talk about how you ended up here, like.
Yeah, of course. Everyone asks me this question. I think when I tell Chileans that I live in Chile, the first reaction is surprise. So, why are you here? So originally I decided to go to South America because I had traveled to a lot of other places and I didn't know South America very well. So I did some research about places to go in South America, and I found that there are a lot of English teaching jobs in Chile. So a lot of businesses are in Santiago because it's kind of the business capital of South America, I think. So you have a lot of the international companies who want to come here, and a lot of their employees need to know English, and so they look for English teachers. And I was not wrong. There's a lot of English teaching jobs here. It's very easy to find.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah. So that's how
and
I ended up in Chile. And then I met my husband. We got married, and then we had a son who's Chilean.
wow, wow. Yeah, yeah, that's is a really nice story. So, um, you okay, here you are working as an English teacher in Chile, but you are working remotely to other parts in the world, right? No, to Chilean people.
Yeah.
Like, tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. So, well, originally when I came to Chile, I was working at Chilean companies, but I do not like the commute all over Santiago because it's really tiring and I don't like spending so many hours on the metro. So I looked
Mm,
for remote jobs. And so I've been teaching on a platform called Cambly for a long time, and I've also been teaching children in China recently, which I love. I love teaching children because they're so excited and they always have something funny to say. And I can show them little videos and sing songs with them. So I love teaching at home because I can make my own schedule and I no longer have to go on the metro for hours a day, which is awesome. And it's easy to find jobs online because there are so many people around the world who are trying to learn English. And many of those people don't have time to go to an institute. They don't
and
have time to take face-to-face classes. So they look for classes online.
yeah, and like, do you need to have requirements to enter to this platform as an English teacher, or like?
Yeah, so it really depends on the platform. So I have a bachelor's degree, and I'm also getting my master's degree in education right now. I also have about 5 years experience teaching, and I also have my CELTA certification, which is a certification to teach English. For Cambly, for platforms where you're talking with people, you're not planning lessons, maybe a lot of these companies are just looking for a bachelor's degree in anything. You don't necessarily need to have a teaching certificate to teach on more conversational platforms.
But you need to have.
Definitely to teach English, you need to have some experience and a teaching certificate.
Yeah, but I think you need to have English as native language, right? Because it's different. I would say the move for, I don't know, Chilean English teacher, right?
Yeah, so this depends. It really depends on the platform. And now I think there's a movement right now in the English teaching world. So a lot of speakers of English who are not native um, want there to be less emphasis on native teachers because a lot of native English teachers don't understand the language as well. We learn to speak it, but we don't think about the rules. And maybe somebody who has learned English as a second language, they understand the rules more. They know the verb tenses, the
Mm,
structures, and maybe they're better able to explain the grammar, for example.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this really, it depends on the company, but you can
Um,
definitely find an English teaching job if you're not an English native speaker.
wow, yeah, yeah. That's really nice. Actually, I met some, Latin American teachers on Cambly, and yeah,
Mhm.
you can obtain that job.
Yeah.
So go back to
Mhm.
your life here in Chile.
Uh-huh.
What I don't know, what do you think about Chileans, or about, Chile? What is, different than America or other countries that you have been?
Yeah. So one thing I realized when I went to Chile is how um, I guess people really like face-to-face contact and people really like physical contact. So I was really surprised by when people greet each other, they kiss each other on the cheek. And
Yeah.
at first, I was like, whoa, this is a little weird. Americans have our bubbles and we like our distance from people, but now it's hard to break this habit. So now I'm so used to hugging and kissing people when I say hello that it's hard to go back to the United States and not do this anymore. um, but of
Wow.
course, with COVID, I think maybe a lot of Chileans aren't doing this as much either. Um, but so that was surprising to me at first, but I like it. I think it's more of maybe like people are closer in Chile. People form more bonds. I think families are closer in Chile, and I like that. Yeah.
Really nice, really nice. So here, you what is the most interesting place that you have been here in Chile? I don't know, something that came to your mind.
Hmm. Well, I went to Torres del Paine.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
yes, and I loved it. It's so beautiful. I've also been to New Zealand, and it looks really similar to New Zealand. So really majestic mountains, I think, and beautiful water. And it was really windy when I went there, but I like that.
Yeah, yeah. I went to,
Mhm.
and it was awesome. Even the installation and everything
Yeah,
surround the mountains is beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Love it.
And
Loved it. I want to go back and go
and
camping. But when I
yeah,
went, I was pregnant, and so it was hard to go walking and camping at that
yeah.
time.
Well, I can imagine. So right now you are not in Chile, you are in
Mhm.
USA, right?
Yeah, I'm visiting my
So
family.
yeah, that's nice. But do you want to go back? Why? Because some people maybe can think, oh, this woman is crazy. Yeah. So what do you want to go back here in Chile?
Yeah, so right now I'm in the United States visiting with my family, and also I'm taking a master's class that I need to go to. But I'm going to go back to Chile. First of all, my husband is still in Chile, and so I of course want to go back so I can see my husband. I really like the city life. So I grew up in the countryside in the United States. I grew up in a place where where people love Donald Trump, and so they have flags everywhere, and so it's very different, and I like that about Santiago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So one interest and what do you think about food here in Chile? Because I want to know your opinion. Do you think it's good, or maybe you what is your idea?
Okay, so I'm going to be very honest with you. Okay, so
Yeah, of
I
course.
I actually like Peruvian food better.
Yeah.
So Chilean listeners don't kill me, but I like spicy food. I really like hot spicy food with a lot of seasonings and flavorings, and so I think that's why I like Peruvian food better
And
because it's spicy.
what about Mexican food? Do you like it?
I love it. Well,
Yeah, it's
I
spicy.
think all people from the U.S. love Mexican food because we have a lot of immigrants from Mexico, so we have restaurants everywhere with Mexican food.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And one interesting thing about Erin is that you played soccer on high school, right?
Yes, yes.
But the real soccer, no the American soccer.
Yeah. Well. Oh. So I played. Are we talking about football?
Football, yeah,
Okay.
football.
Yes. Yes.
But in USA, American soccer or American football is more popular, right? That's correct, or like football is an underground sport or something like that.
So, in the USA, a lot of men and boys play American football, and a lot of girls play soccer or football.
Okay.
Um, and I don't know why. American football is more like physical, like you need a lot of strength because you're tackling people. Um,
Yeah.
and so now I think people have made the distinction that the game with physical strength, American football, is for boys, and the game where you run and you need to be fast is for girls, so soccer or
Mm,
football.
okay, okay. Well, here in Chile, the football is kind of a crazy thing.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people
Oh, yeah.
play soccer, and right now here, a lot of women are starting to play soccer, and that's awesome. Can you tell me about your experience playing soccer on USA?
Yeah, so actually I loved playing soccer. I really like to run. And so it's kind of the perfect sport for me because you need to run a lot in soccer. You need to be really physically in shape. Um but I played defense. So I was right defense.
Okay.
Yeah, and our high school team was pretty good. So in the United States, high schools play against other high schools. So our sport is during the springtime. And so during the springtime, we would travel around my state of Missouri and play soccer games. Um, so yeah, I still really love it. I'm trying to get my son to start playing it. He's a little confused about kicking the ball because he's only 2, but I'm trying right
Mm,
now.
yeah, yeah. Actually, it's a really nice sport here. you know.
Yeah.
And actually, what about your life during COVID, because
Oh.
you, like, before COVID, you worked online as well. Like,
Mhm.
it was kind of the same lifestyle, or?
Yeah, so actually, not a lot changed during the pandemic for us. I just couldn't leave the house. I was just stuck inside. Um, but yeah, I think it's difficult in a big city during a pandemic because the apartments are much smaller in Santiago. So here in the USA, we have much bigger houses, and most people have really big gardens or backyards, so there's more space. So it was a little difficult during the pandemic where everybody is inside in a smaller enclosed space. You can't go anywhere or do anything. But I felt really lucky to be working online because I know a lot of people weren't able to do that, which is
Oh
good.
wow, yeah. It was difficult. It was difficult
Mhm.
for a lot of people. Even I don't know. Did you meet with some Chilean English teacher that work, like, face to face instead of online or something like that?
Oh, I saw some posts on social media for students who were looking for teachers face to face. Some teachers were doing it and some were not. It depended on how comfortable they were with this. But Chileans, again, really value face to face contact. So I think Chileans in particular like face to face classes more than online classes.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
and do you think it's better to learn to teach English um, face to face, or maybe online you can teach even better? I don't know.
So there are different techniques for both. And as a teacher, you need to learn how to teach both ways. But it's possible to have an online class that is just as beneficial as a face to face class. But the teacher needs to learn how to make a successful lesson plan for an online class. Um, but it's easier to use online resources for an online class. So it's easier to just pull up a YouTube video or an image to show a word. So,
And I don't know, at the beginning, don't didn't you feel scared about, teach online, maybe, random guys? I don't know.
yeah, so I think first of all, maybe every English teacher has this worry. So I've definitely seen parts of bodies that I did not want to see working on Cambly. But that's why there's a block button. So I can just exit, hit block, don't have to see this person ever again.
Okay, okay. How often that happens? I don't know.
So it's really random. It's like Russian roulette, so you never know. But it's only happened to me one time, thankfully.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thankfully, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think we cover a lot of topics. Thank you for coming to my podcast, Erin. I don't know. Do you want to say some last words
Yeah,
to
so
Chilean people? I don't know.
yeah, it's a Chilean people. Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank Chile for welcoming me to your country. I think Chilean people are very welcoming, which is awesome. And I've had a lot of really great conversations with Chilean people.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
thank you.
and do you want to learn Spanish at some point in the time, or what about
Yeah,
that?
so actually I take Spanish classes online and I'm conversational in Spanish right now. I'm not fluent, but I'm conversational. So I can
Okay,
speak Spanish.
nice, nice. So I think we can finish the interview. Thank you for coming, Erin, and see you the next time.
Thank you so much. It was so great to see you.
Nice.